There are 20 human trafficking cases under investigation in Belize at this time. 65% of the suspected victims are female minors. In an effort to reduce vulnerabilities in communities often targeted by traffickers, there is need for a more proactive approach in addressing the exploitation of people. Traffickers are finding new and innovative ways to commit this crime and avoiding authorities. The Human Trafficking Global Academy is an intervention.
The objectives of this training are, firstly, to increase understanding of the tools and techniques used in TIP, Trafficking in Persons investigations. Secondly, to provide new resources and concepts to improve movement of TIP cases within our judicial system, our justice system rather. And thirdly, to provide practical experience in TIP investigation from the initial report of a case through the sentencing to increase understanding and collaboration amongst us in trafficking cases. This Global Academy training symbolizes our commitment to build partnerships to tackle human trafficking. It symbolizes hope for families and people of Belize. And as chair of the ATIP's Council, we are all too aware that improving our response to human trafficking requires consistent capacity building, recognizing that strong multi-sectoral coordination and collaboration is a critical success factor.
Human trafficking is being described as modern-day slavery, with the International Labour Organization reporting that 12.3 million persons are victims of forced labour at any given time, 2.4 million of whom are as a result of trafficking. Chief Magistrate Sharon Fraser speaks of the trauma and the vulnerabilities associated with the crime.
The recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, deception, with the aim of exploiting them for profit. Men, women, and children of all ages and from all backgrounds can become victims of this crime, which occurs in every region of the world. It can happen in any community, and victims be any age, race, gender, or nationality. Traffickers might use violence, manipulation, false promises of well-paying jobs, and people even romantic relationships. The language barrier, the fear of their traffickers, or the fear of law enforcers frequently keep victims from seeking help, or which makes human trafficking a largely hidden crime.
Today's inauguration of Belize's first Anti-Human Trafficking Academy is another step to ensure that the rights of all those exposed are protected. Among the most common forms of human trafficking is sexual exploitation and forced labor. U.S. Ambassador to Belize Michelle Kwan says that all stakeholders have a role to play.
When we are talking about human trafficking, we are talking about human beings that are essentially bought and sold to other human beings. A combination of political, cultural, and social circumstances can create environments in which traffickers can more easily prey on the vulnerable. We all have a role to play in dismantling these networks and protecting the most vulnerable among us.
Human trafficking is driven by a global demand for cheap, exploitable labor, and global profits from forced labor total an estimated $44.3 billion annually. It is the second largest but fastest growing criminal industry worldwide after drug trafficking. Duane, Moody for News 5.